What's up, Play Sports Gamer here, and the 49ers are going to the Super Bowl. After the first half, I did not think this was going to happen. And as a matter of fact, to be honest, in my mind, I was prepping a fire Steve Wilkes video that I was going to release. Going to the game, I knew the Lions are going to be tough. They have a great offense and a good enough defense. So I knew this game was going to be tough. I was hoping the 49ers would come out and score a touchdown and take momentum away from the Lions. Because if you go by history, one thing the 49ers were good at in the playoffs in history was get that 7 to 14 point lead and allow their defense to cruise from there and take control and win the game. So that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping the 49ers would come out ablazing and take a lead and just have the Lions wilt from there, as they're not experienced enough in these situations. The 49ers are by far the experienced team. This is the third straight NFC Championship. Yes, they lost the last two. One by an injury, a freak injury, but let's not get into that. But the opposite happened. The Lions came right down and scored a touchdown on a Jameson Williams 42-yard run. To the credit, the 49ers came right back, driving, but then Moody missed the field goal. And I was very nervous about Moody all year. And he was, for the most part, good. He had his shaky moments, but for the most part, he was good. Then when he missed that field goal, I was like, oh no, something's going to happen. This is not good. Especially when the Lions came again down the field and they were just running down the 49ers' throats. And this is why I don't understand what Steve Wilkes does going into the game, what his game plan is. Because with the Green Bay game and now this game, both teams were taking it to the 49ers defense. The 49ers defense looked like they were like a bottom 5 defense instead of a top 5 defense. The Detroit Lions are just running down 49ers' throats. And it was not good. This is why I've lost faith in Steve Wilkes. I did a video way back in the day when they hired him saying it was a brilliant move by the 49ers. He did pretty good defensive coordinating in Carolina. And so I thought he was going to be a great defensive coordinator for the 49ers, especially with the talent the 49ers has. It really doesn't seem like he's on par with DeMeco Ryans and Robert Saleh, the previous two defensive coordinators. It seems like those two got a lot more pressure on the quarterback than Steve Wilkes can do. And I've heard stories about him concentrating more on the secondary than the front lines of the 49ers, which the previous two probably did not do. The 49ers are built to get pressure on the quarterback and cover for their weak secondary. Maybe this is not a good fit for Steve Wilkes. He's not doing it. But then again, both times against Green Bay and Detroit, the 49ers defense totally shut down both teams. But the way it was going in the first half, they could not stop Detroit. And I was like thinking, it's 24-7 at halftime, and there's no way Detroit is going to stall in the second half. They're going to put up points. I say before, and I'll say it again, and I believe this, the 49ers are not built to come back from deficits. Brock Purdy is not a quarterback to be thrown it all over the field like a Mahomes, willing their team to come back. So going into halftime at 24-7, I was very nervous. I really didn't think they were going to come back. I knew they were going to put up a fight, and I knew they were going to score some touchdowns to get a little closer, but I didn't think Detroit would crumble the way they did in the second half. And that could be credit to Steve Wilkes in making the halftime adjustments. He did it against Green Bay, and he did it again against the Lions. I wish he does a full game plan, not just like the second half, because if they do this against Kansas City the way they did it against Green Bay and Detroit, they are not going to win. I hate Pat Mahomes, but he is hard to stop. He always finds a way to win. He wills the team to win. And Brock Purdy was doing that too with this game. He is great mentally. He wills the team to win. So in the second half, like I said this out, they needed to score a touchdown on that opening drive to get it a little close. And they were driving down the field, but then they just got a field goal. Thank God Moody connected on that one. But lo and behold, they're actually stopping Detroit. I'm surprised that they were stopping Detroit the way they were playing the first half. And I think the play of the game, and I did a little short on it, showing that play, was the Brandon Ayuk catch. That 51-yard catch off the face mask of the cornerback for Detroit. Catching that ball, that was the turning point of the game. that brought a lot of momentum back to the 49ers, along with the fumble. The 49ers finally made a play and it caused a fumble. It was a bad snap and a bad handoff to Gibbs. But that's the way sometimes it falls. It seems like these teams that are not used to winning in these positions, they seem like they crumble. And it seemed like they make mistakes when it counts the most. And luckily, the Detroit Lions made these mistakes. And I got to hand it to Brock Purdy. I say he's a smarter Jimmy G, and I really think he is. But him scrambling in this game was a big factor of them winning. He was under a lot of pressure in this game. I think he was on pressure 60% of the time on the dropbacks. And he's good at moving around the pocket. I always said that. He's good. He's not fast, but he's good at moving around the pocket. And he made some great scrambles for first downs, keeping the drive alive and making the play when it matters most. So kudos to Brock Purdy and Deebo Samuel. It's so awesome that Deebo played in this game because he's a big part of this offense. He's awesome at getting that 2-yard pass and breaking tackles and running it for 10 to 15. And he's proven the fact of how important he is in this offense. I've said before, I thought Ayuk was more important and a better wide receiver for this team. And hopefully he stays. I don't know, there's a lot of rumblings going on that he might be leaving the 49ers when he gets into free agency. I hope he stays. But Deebo does really help the 49ers. It helps this offense a lot. And it was awesome to see Christian McCaffrey have another big game, 2 touchdowns, 90 yards on the ground, 42 in the air. They had everything rolling in the second half, a far-fetched from what they did in the first half. And I was surprised that Kittle wasn't really a part of the offense. He needs to be part of this offense. He's an important part of this offense. I'm surprised they did so well, even in the second half without him. He made one big catch, but that's about it for Kittle. Hopefully they're getting more involved in the Super Bowl. But one of the big reasons why the Lions lost, I think, squarely goes onto Dan Campbell. I don't understand him going for 4th downs when they're in field goal range. Maybe when they're outside the field goal range, maybe when there's a yard to go. It blows my mind that he is so aggressive. And I know if you ever ask him, they ask him, why'd you go for 4th down? You probably go, this is how it's been the whole season. I'm a very aggressive coach, and I felt like they were going to make the play. They could have went up 27-10 and almost put the game away in the third quarter. Yet he goes for 4th down. They don't get it, thankfully, because Reynolds couldn't catch the ball. And that was the huge momentum turn in this game. So between that and between down by 3 with a 48-yard field goal, and they go for a 4th down again, it just doesn't make sense. They had a chance to tie the game. Maybe he doesn't have faith in his kicker, which doesn't make sense. I know he's a little shaky, Badgley. He's a little shaky. To tie, you're in the NFC Championship. You want to tie the game. You don't go for the field goal to tie it. And I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad on these 2 opportunities, they didn't make it. And it turned the game around. Instead of down 27-10, Detroit didn't get it. And 49ers got the ball and they scored a touchdown to make it 24-17. Got the fumble, 24-24, just like that. So I think this loss is on Dan Campbell. Because Jared Goff played pretty good. The whole team played pretty good except for Reynolds, who dropped 2 big passes. So I know I don't make videos anymore like last year when the 49ers were going through the playoffs. And I got a lot of views when they had made that run with Brock Purdy. But I had to make a video on this one. NFC Championship. Going to Super Bowl against Kansas City. Hopefully they'll get their revenge and beat them this time. So let me know what you guys think. So please subscribe. I'll appreciate it a lot. Like this video. Comment below. And let me know you think the 49ers are going to beat the Chiefs next week. Thanks. See ya.